So here we go, the first game then. It's going to be yet again Watering Hole and Set against Zeus. An interesting matchup, of course, as we are going to be looking at Shadowfax aka NoMercy playing the Zeus, whereas Shelty is going to be playing the Set. Well, Set is of course a vanilla pretty strong, and not a bad choice overall, but I will be kinda guessing that Zeus might be slightly better in here. I'm definitely curious what actually Shadowfax aka NoMercy is gonna be playing as a strat. If it's going to be rush into Mythical Age or whatnot, if he's gonna be playing a bit differently, like aggressively in the Classical Age and maybe even into Heroic Age. Because from the set, I will be really expecting that he will be going for faster Heroic, as basically all the Egyptians that we have seen so far in the tournament, as we are looking around this base. See, not really all that much, just a bit of a gold on the left side for NoMercy and some very nice hunting there, but the map is kind of funny, has to be said. Not really that hard to wall up, especially for red. He can just put a wall at the bottom, use those hippos for himself, then a bit longer wall in there, and definitely will be happy about the front TC being so close to him as we are looking at the bolt and getting rid of the priest. Definitely a nice idea. Definitely a nice idea in here, because of course he was already looking at those triple lines trying to convert them, and that's not gonna happen, which is of course gonna basically cripple all the early game for Shelty, and Shelty will at this point definitely have to go for the faster Heroic and hope that he's gonna be able to defend just fine. His map seems to be alright for the defense also, just a bit of a wall on the right, then there's going to be short one in the middle and a bit one on the left. Really pretty good map for him overall, and he does have very nice gold mine right next to his base, and otherwise another one in the corner and one at the bottom as well with a relic, which is for what? Better chariots, potentially toxots, hit points. That's actually pretty good. Like chariots in there, good giraffes right next to the TC in there, and this is looking quite alright for him if he plays it correctly. Don't really expect all that much problems for him to defend against the Zeus. Market will probably be coming from this top side to the TC on the right. What could be a problem for him is of course the position of the front TC, because that's not really something that he will be able all that to control. I would fully expect that this is going to be under control, or rather something that NoMercy will be trying to control. And definitely curious how actually Shelty is gonna play this. I'm thinking that he will be quite early, especially since he cannot put up any early pressure in the Classical Age. And oh well, already going for the hunt in the front. So yeah, he basically right now knows, because he killed the priest, that he doesn't need to worry about any Radiant at all. And he can just basically go here in the front, go probably in the faster Heroic a bit as well, and just steal the TC in the front, and maybe, just maybe in the one, even the one in front of Shelty, but still, there are the ancestors. He could be having uncontested ceasefire, so not really that much of an issue for him to steal this, so not sure what's gonna come up. We're gonna see what the vanilla meta is for the game in here. So, what's he gonna be moving into next? Probably giraffes, he has scouted them, which I actually don't think so, because he's right now scouting on the left next to a relic for better cavalry and chariot archer hit points. This is gonna be very good for the hippicons that are definitely gonna come from the Greek, as we are still continuing, and 3 minutes, so probably will be already thinking about advance, exactly, as Shadowfax aka NoMercy is dropping the temple and moving all across the map. Well, so far the wood lines are kinda tricky for him potentially, but there is still enough on the left and enough on the right, but they are kinda not really that numerous and that big. Potentially there could be a bit of idle time if he doesn't notice fast enough when he's going to be running out. And could be making for a bit tricky late game if he doesn't take care of that. I suppose, of course, for his opponent who is having a ton of wood absolutely everywhere, so he doesn't need to worry about that at all. Nice hunt on the left with extra gazelles and some cranes, of course, on top of that as well, as we are probably going to be just waiting for him to drop the temple, as has already happened. And this is funny build up of his base. He's actually fully right now expecting that he's going to be under heavy attack. This is basically meant to protect the gold mine a bit. So there is not really all that open. He's definitely lucky that he has the gold between those two towers. That's definitely gonna help protect him against the early attack that might be coming from his opponent. And well, so far a bit of scouting, knows that there are the giraffes, and quite curiously, no walls coming up yet. Really no walls yet, so I'm kinda thinking that Shelty right now is fully banking on the fact that his opponent is going to be following suit with the faster Heroic. And we're probably gonna see fairly soon, so yeah, let's see about that. I'm just gonna check into post-game if they are already coming into Heroic Ages or other Classical at pretty much the same time. Here you can see the drop in the resources at the exactly same spot, so there's going to be a red following close behind him. As Vision and Shifting Sense are going to be cast where? So far, we are seeing... Oh, aggressive ones on the hunt. Oh, alright, so this is actually very clever play. Usually you see that actually players, at least so far in the tournament, they were actually stealing villages into their home base. And this is actually a pretty huge surprise to NoMercy. You can see that, because he went into the forefront fully. I'm fully certain that he was thinking that he's absolutely safe. But right now, of course, he isn't, and he's going to be having a bit of a hard time actually right now following up in here, as he's without food from 6 villagers. That's quite significant. And he's gonna lose at least one, I'm thinking, as he's right now just running around. Even though he's losing all the animals, because through nice micro shadow effects he's running away, he is just having so much idle time. So much idle time right about now. Already about half a minute at least. And oh man, this is so well played right about now by Shelty. And even though he's losing empowerment from the far out, it's definitely well worth it. Because he's just now gonna be killing one villager, and he's probably going to be just running behind those guys, trying to make them as ineffective as possible, because this is like about quarter of the whole economy of Mercy. And oh man, is that a big problem for him already moving forward with some Hippicons as well, which is of course gonna be the unit of choice for him. So far one of those, and he has advanced through, of course, Hermes to basically counter the ancestors. Apparently we are gonna be seeing some centaurs from him as well, as he's still getting quite plenty of favor in there. Which is, of course, interesting idea, considering that he's against an Egyptian, so it's probably not going to be all that effective. And he's definitely not careful enough right now with NoMercy, because he's getting a lot of damage into Jason, and it's just quite a lot of resources in the early stage, especially considering that he was, like, for a minute, not gathering food with 6 villages at all. So this is definitely quite nice edge for Shelty, and he is quite probably going to be using that to actually give him an edge in advancing quite comfortably into the next age, into the heroic age, and hoping that, yeah, his opponent is not going to be fast enough with the army to actually stop the Migdol and whatnot. So yeah, he's right now going to be continuing with all the food all across the base. We are looking at some houses being produced in Shadowfax's base, and that seems to be so far pretty much it. Pretty much it, nothing really extra happening, as of course priests are going to be built, and it's almost looking like that he's going to be aiming for a lot of priests for the early defense, and then usually actually sets go for barracks once they hit heroic age, or rather once they start advancing into heroic age. But I'm just kind of confused why he isn't walling himself, because at this stage you should be fully realizing that his opponent is going to be just coming full-on aggressive on him and basically trying to stop potentially Migdol once he gets into the heroic age, or maybe even the TC. Not really sure what the plan is right about now from Shelty, but he is kind of passive in all kinds of map control. Not even going for barracks, not going for the absolutely obvious walling that should be really happening, and to be honest should have happened already a few minutes ago, and he's basically leaving it up to Shadowfax to do what he wants, as Neftis is in at 8 minutes, that's pretty decent timing, and well, even scouted there, potentially leaving space for some underworld passage shenanigans in the later game in the Mythical Age. So moving forward, with Jason being still alive, and has actually Shadowfax been thinking about heroic age. So far not, he's going for the rock, so he's definitely gonna be hoping that he can be annoying through this side. That's a nice idea, and something that Shelty will be needing to be careful about at all, or rather overall quite a lot, because that's going to be a huge threat, especially with the position of the Migdol in this choke point, which is defensive position. Could have been going a bit forward, maybe to capture even the gold, but he doesn't really feel like it, and I think it's a correct decision at this stage. Just still don't understand the lack of walling, but we'll see how the game is gonna proceed for Shelty, and we are seeing medium Hippicons and 3 stables already being ready. But much more importantly, we are looking at those 2 villages, which, since we are not seeing any centaurs as I was expecting a bit before, it could signal that he's already getting favor for, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun play, through the transport boat, that he's gonna be favoring basically for the Mythical Age, and getting the Forge of Olympus as soon as possible, and well, maybe even switching through Colossi, but of course on vanilla they are terribly expensive at 40 favor. That's like a huge ton even for Zeus. So I'm kind of thinking it's going to be for the Forge of Olympus, as he's already moving forward, and this is going to be a bit of a surprise to Shelty, as of course he's probably going to be trying to somehow stop the TC from coming into his hands. All the army being gone, and this is a very good trade-in, because of course there's literally no army, just this one Hippicon being home. And oh man, the economy is just going to be so suffering. And if Shelty does notice this transport boat fast enough, apparently it's not going to be happening because he's gonna be deploying quite far away from his opponent. Well, still not going for the TC, curiously enough, would be maybe thinking that could be something he would want to do. But yeah, so far not really anything like that, just a bit of gradient in there. And Hippicon apparently confusing chariots for the water buffalo. Yeah, well, that didn't help you, did it? So these guys just moving forward. Are they going to be trying to catch those fillies? Potentially, but in the meantime, let's check on the woodliners, of course. The army is still there because the Migdol is right in this spot. And of course, even though he's gonna be potentially losing a few villages, it's not going to be all that major problem because right about now, Shelty should be realizing that there has to be going on something with the water, because how else would he be coming from the right side? And unfortunately for Shadowfax, he's just running back to the boat and he's going to be giving up altogether. Oh man. Oh man. So, okay, right now there's going to be ceasefire, and this is a very important spot in the game. Because of course this ceasefire to protect the woodies, which would have been absolutely annihilated, that's kinda correct. But yeah, of course, right about now you need to fully realize that this will give Shelty a huge power spike through the ancestors. And he's most probably not going to be giving up anything here. And oh, does actually Shadowfax have enough resources for the TC right about now? Apparently not, that's a bit of a shame for him. He could have used that, but yeah, apparently not. The front TC is going to be solved for Shelty. That was potentially a bit of a problem for him that I was expecting in the game. But yeah, it's not really going to be that much of an issue, as right now the ceasefire is going to be serving, I think, a bit more actually to Shelty than to NoMercy. So NoMercy is actually in a pretty tough spot right about now and going to be expecting ancestors here. Maybe even not, but if they are coming here, the TC is not coming up at all. Yep, ceasefire is going to be just now. And then let's see the micro from Shelty. He should be definitely going with chariot archers on villages one-on-one, basically, to stop them. With ancestors going down in here. Even some extra bolts are going to be coming from them to basically kill the army as soon as possible. And oh man, this is a huge problem from NoMercy. I'm fully thinking that from the very start of the game, he was thinking he's in full control, just starting with the bolt and whatnot. But Shelty is playing very well indeed, and he's absolutely catching Shadowfax off guard. And oh man, this game is going so well for him. He's forcing his opponent to basically make all kinds of suboptimal decisions in here. And this TC is not gonna get finished. Even the one at the back is not being built right about now. And well, probably even some more lost villages, because there is still another gate. So potentially, if he doesn't realize it, yeah, he's not gonna go for it even now. And it's going to be first game for Shelty in quite fast manner at 12 minutes. And we will be probably expecting that the game would have been a whole lot more different. But Shelty, oh man, he played well. He played really well indeed. And he totally caught Shadowfax off guard, to be honest. Nice execution. Very nice execution indeed. So let's check into the post game. And it's going to be Shelty winning total score and military, whereas economy better for Shadowfax by quite some margin. But it usually happens when you go for a faster heroic. Or rather, really fast heroic for the Egyptian, of course. And even Shadowfax wasn't able to get the civilian high the same as Shelty. That's a bit more surprising to me. Would have expected that actually the Echo would be overall really better, even through the amount of villages for Shadowfax, but he was of course suffering quite heavy losses in the process. Alright, GG.